Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
I'd like to invite Mr. Shane Frost, an Awabakal community representative, to welcome us to country.
Eliantin, Awabakal Shane Moambalanguni, Awabakanara Kolba. This is the language of my people, the Awabakal, and what I've just said is, hello everyone, I'm Shane. I'm a man from Awaba, or Flat Place, which you may know as Lake Macquarie, and I belong to those people from Awaba. I was born here in this country of my ancestors, the Awabakal, and I grew up and lived at Budabar, which is in our language means a place beside the lagoon, a hill beside the lagoon or on the edge of the lake. And I was shown and taught things by my father that had been passed on to him from generation to generation. Things about my people, our customs and our dreaming stories, and the things that made up their everyday life. My people have lived here on this land for thousands of years, and everything they needed was here. They hunted and fished and gathered around the shores of Awaba, Lake Macquarie, and up to the mountains of Wadigan, which means crow in our language, and out to Womble, the seashore, right up into Mulabinba, and that means the place of the fern, or it's a fern that my people used to eat here. And you may also know that as Newcastle. Everything they needed was here to sustain their life, and from their shelter and everything to make their tools and their weapons to make their life more comfortable at that time. They respected and appreciated their country because of its beauty, but also because it did sustain their life in every way. We as a Awabakal people today also respect and appreciate our country. That's the way we've grown up. It's ingrained in us, and we can't be any other way. We look after it and it looks after us. And we know that there's thousands of people that have come from all over the world to make this their home now, that live here, and also people that come to visit us. And we would ask that as a Awabakal people, you would also respect and appreciate this country. So as a traditional owner, I'm here today to represent my people, the Awabakal, and I would warmly welcome everyone into the land of the Awabakal. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. Vice-Chancellor, fellow council members, staff of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Graduation ceremony is a wonderful occasion for all members of the university community and, of course, for family and friends of the graduates. And while we can't offer you an award, we do recognise the enormous contribution you've made in supporting your loved ones through the highs and lows of their time as a student. And to you, we offer a very special welcome to the university. To all the graduates, I offer my warmest congratulations and very best wishes. Today is rightly a proud moment for you as we recognise the completion of your degree. And this morning, we will see graduates from fields such as commerce and business, finance and economics, In addition, postgraduate to research students will be graduating with higher degrees, having contributed original knowledge in these areas. Indeed, in the area of research performance, this university is ranked among the top 10 Australian universities. It has an annual research income in the vicinity of $40 million and an annual research expenditure of $60 million, and this is an exceptional achievement. Now, whether you're here today to receive your first undergraduate degree, a postgraduate coursework degree or a research higher degree, you'll have developed skills and knowledge and the ability to think logically and laterally, and these are qualities that are highly valued by employers worldwide, and they'll stand you in good stead for the process of lifelong learning. Because the rate of change in our society is such that whatever qualification you've completed, you'll need to be engaged in lifelong learning to remain successful and competitive in the workforce. But I'm confident that the skills you've acquired during your study at this university will stimulate your hunger for more knowledge and understanding. And this in turn will equip you to make valuable contributions to the local, national and even international community. Can I take this opportunity also to remind those receiving their testaments today that as graduates of the university, you automatically become members of the graduate body, the convocation, and you'll join an active and dynamic alumni network of almost 100,000 students who can be found in 95 countries around the world. You can benefit from the successes of the university and its past graduates through strong professional, societal and opportunities through elected representatives to become involved in the governance and development of the university. And I strongly encourage you to become actively involved in the alumni network. And I wish you well in your future careers. I now call on Mr. Martin Fitzgerald, Pro Vice-Chancellor of the Faculty of Business and Law, to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Business. Catherine Adenall. Benjamin Anderson. Batul Anis. Melanie Atherton. Mitchell Avakian. Andrew Bailey. Jennifer Baldwin. Sarah Bale. Elisa Boyd. Cameron Bracken. Alison Britton. Christy Brown. Lisa Brown. Anthony Burwood. Daniel Bush. Erin Caff. Ben Calder. Sarah Kalinen. Rebecca Campbell. Alicia Carr. Carly Chenery. Alison Cornish. Angela Crow. Michael Cunningham. Ronald Dadd. Peter Davies. Michelle Dawson. Drew Deaver. Kate Donegan. Gregory Dowling. Michael Edwards. Alison Eglentals. James Fielding. Troy Filipovic. Clinton Fitzsimmons. David Flanagan. Simone Freeman. Abby Gardner. Patrick Grant. Rachel Gregory. Denaflor Hallasan. Sharon Harris. Samuel Hennessy. Erin Henry. Elizabeth Hensley. Natalie Hicks. Daniel Hill. Gabrielle Hurst. Eddie Hode. Claire Howell. Daniel Hutchison. Chris Ilieski. Julianne Jovanovski. James Kearney. Rebecca Kearns. Kyle Keevers. Hung Jong Kim. Jacqueline Kirk. Catherine Knight. Adeline Ka-Yi Ko. Mary Costellis. Nicholas Kuba. Kendall Larson. Hayley Lawrence. Benjamin Leake. Max Lim. Christy Lockyer. Clayton Mace. Belinda Mangowski. Christopher Manning. Adam Mason. Rachel Matthews. Megan Matsuik. Sandra Mavin. Joshua McFarlane. Christy McKibben. Alexander Michalak. Jessica Miller. Amy Millington. Stuart Mills. Joanne Milson Comerford. Sully Mole. Christopher Mognani. Jane Morris. Belinda Moss. Elizabeth Neely. Jessica Nongshuk Key. Nicholas. Brett Norris. Amy Norville. Jordan O'Connor. Nicole Orr. Ian Packer. Bianca Perry. Caitlin Phillipson. Hayley Pine. Thanks. Jenny Rard. Matthew Radnich. Amy Rankin. Louise Rose. Kelly Rosier. Kirsten Ross. Christy Ann Scott. Daniel Shakespeare. Christopher Smith. Luke Souness. Brenda Starkey. Bradley Stevenson. John Sullivan. Cameron Taylor. Kylie Taylor. Christy Tierman. Bree Thomas. Paula Tufa. Melanie Turner. Adam van der Veen. Christopher Walsh. Nicholas Walsh. Belinda Wardley. Michelle Watson. Nicholas Webster. James White. Blair Williams. Matthew Wood. Yusaki Yukota. Andrew Zer. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Commerce. These graduates have studied for these awards simultaneously. Vivian Lightfoot. Anna Sandersky. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Economics. This graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Emma Porteous. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Business Honours, Class 2, Division 2, Peter Beach. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Business Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Jonathan Spring. Sean Stevens. Nathan Vincent. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Adslin Abdullah. David Archer. Carl Baker. Stephen Ballinger. Selena Bevan. Damien Both. Michael Bullock. Rosemary Buttsworth. Michael Kearney. Ryan Caldwell. Adam Camille. David Chan. Johnny Cheng. Rebecca Corcoran. Andrew Crawford. Alexander Detra. James Dreverman. Adam Dugan. Katie Eager. Clayton Freeman. Michael Godwin. Kelvin Goff. Daryl Hampson. Kirili Howe. Nicole Hind. Ben Johnson. Lauren Keft. Timothy Kuick. Amy Coe. Celeste Coppens. Daniel Katevsky. Melissa Kuzareski. Dixon Wali. Wing Yan Li. Andrew Lux. Katie Luton. Jason Mansfield. Richard McNeil. Ian McPherson. Kelly Metcalf. James Millard. John Moore. Linda Payton. Daniel Pike. Matthew Plumridge. Cindy Poe. Linda Pullman. Sally Radford. James Robb. Natasha Shaw. Christine Smith. Glenn Smith. Simon Stennett. Matthew Stevenson. Melinda Sue. Amanda Sullivan. Ching Sun. Ross Sutherland. Christopher Thodus. Lloyd Valentine. Russell Warren. Su Tong Wei. Robert White. Katrina Wilson. Chuk Ki Wong. Vanessa Workman. Dee Shah. Louis Shou Chung Cha. Fung Mei Yip. Li Boao Jung. Xiao Lei Jung. Lian Shung Chao. Kathleen Swan. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degrees of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Business. These graduates have studied for these awards simultaneously. Mark Hill. Grant Thomas. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degrees of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Arts. This graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Liam Cooper. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degrees of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Information Science. This graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Jessica Babaus. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Zoe Benson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Christopher Bartlett. Matthew Condon. John Herridge. Luke Johnson. Fiona Lee. Manwa Luk. Mak Hong Phai. Boon Huat Pha. Suzanne Smith. Matthew Voigt. Benjamin White. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degrees of Bachelor of Economics and Bachelor of Business. These graduates have studied for these awards simultaneously. Alyssa Darcy. Ben Dunn. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degrees of Bachelor of Economics and Bachelor of Commerce. This graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Nathan Bray. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Honours, Class 2, Division 1. Timothy Connolly. Stephen Knight. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Finance. Natasha Artim. Catherine Banks. Stephen Bull. Ryan Chaffee. Jason Koulipas. Michelle Curtis. Andrew Danks. Louise Ebling. Karen Gardner. Clayton Hattam. Mitchell James. Jason Kolewski. Peter Lowe. Ryan Lynch. Asha Miller. Andrew Millward. Ryan Muir. Marina Navarro. James Parkin. Amy Robertson. Cameron Shaw. Daniel Sinfield. Tegan Smith. Christopher Stevens. Emma Stewart. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degrees of Bachelor of Finance and Bachelor of Business. This graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Megan Ferguson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degrees of Bachelor of Finance and Bachelor of Commerce. These graduates have studied for these awards simultaneously. Christopher Coleman. Lisa Sheldon. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degrees of Bachelor of Finance and Bachelor of Economics. These graduates have studied for these awards simultaneously. Tristan Cheel. David Odd. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degrees of Bachelor of Finance and Bachelor of Information Science. This graduate has studied for these awards simultaneously. Christopher Howard. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Master of Business Administration. Leslie Hills. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Business and Law.
Now I'd like to call on Professor Adrian Page, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Research, to present Research Higher Degree graduates.
A Research Higher Degree is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study which is primarily research. A thesis embodying the outcomes of the research is the principal basis of examination. The degree is only awarded if the thesis makes a significant and original contribution to knowledge and understanding in that field of study. Today, the University is proud to honour graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of a Doctor of Philosophy degree. Each student has studied for the equivalent of 3.5 years or more of effective full-time study. The thesis, which is the outcome of their work, is examined by 3 examiners, usually external to the University. At least one, and usually more, examiners will be an international scholar recognised for their expertise in the field of study represented by their thesis. Chancellor, I present to you Mercy Pinganjira, Diploma in Agriculture and Bachelor of Science from Malawi University, and Graduate Diploma and Master of Business Administration from the University of Newcastle for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Pinganjira's thesis is entitled The Determinants of Export Involvement in Small and Medium-Sized Firms, the Case of Malawi. Chancellor, Dr. Pinganjira. Chancellor, I present to you Joseph Ryan, Bachelor of Mathematics with Honours from the University of Wollongong for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Ryan's thesis is entitled Network Labelling and Eccentricities. Chancellor, Dr. Ryan. Chancellor, I present to you Kristen van Barneveld, Bachelor of Economics, Social Science and Master of Labour Law and Relations from the University of Sydney for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Barneveld's thesis is entitled Equity and Efficiency, the Case of Australian Workplace Agreements. Chancellor, Dr. van Barneveld. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of Research Higher Degree graduates.
We'll now have a musical interlude presented by Kyle Holmes on guitar.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite Professor Ron McCallum to deliver the occasional address. Professor McCallum is Dean of the Faculty of Law at the University of Sydney and lectures in labour law and litigation. He's also lectured in the United States and Canada as a visiting professor in the Department of Industrial Relations of the University of Laval in Quebec City. Professor McCallum has written extensively on industrial law, contributing to many journal articles and books, and he's also participated in 5 worldwide labour law studies with the National Academy of Arbitrators, which is the professional body for private labour arbitrators in the United States and Canada. In a professional capacity, Professor McCallum has assisted in drafting the Industrial Relations Act 1966 in New South Wales, the Industrial Relations Act 1999 in Queensland, and the Occupational Health and Safety Act in New South Wales in 1983. And he was Special Counsel and Consultant in Industrial Law to Blake Dawson Waldron before being appointed as the Foundation Blake Dawson Waldron Professor in Industrial Law in the Faculty of Law at the University of Sydney. Professor McCallum is the first totally blind person to be appointed as a Dean of a law school and to a full professorship in industrial law at any Australian university. During his life, Professor McCallum has demonstrated a very strong commitment to the community. He was the inaugural president of the Australian Labour Law Association. He is a former member of the Advisory Committee to the Commission for Children and Young People of New South Wales, and he's chair of the Radio for the Print Handicapped of New South Wales Cooperative Limited, which operates Radio 2RPH. Professor McCallum regularly reads newspaper and magazine articles for print handicapped listeners on this station. Professor McCallum's exceptional achievements were recognised by the Australian Government in 2002 with the presentation of a centenary medal. We are delighted to be able to welcome Professor McCallum to today's ceremony and to deliver the occasional address. Professor McCallum.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council of the University of Newcastle, members of the staff, fellow academics, graduates, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's my deep honour to have been asked to deliver the occasional address at this ceremony in the week of graduations for the University of Newcastle, and particularly when the graduates are from the Faculty of Business and Law, an area in which I have worked for over 30 years as an academic. May I begin by congratulating all the graduates on their achievements and also their families and loved ones, whom I'm sure have helped them a great deal in achieving these fine educational goals. I think the proudest moment of my life was when my wife graduated with her PhD and it was all over. She's now a vigorous researching associate professor. It's customary on these occasions for the occasional addressor to say something of her or his life. Mine was a premature birth, and in 1948, the only way to keep we Prems alive was to use pure oxygen to aid our breathing. The problem with pure oxygen in the bloodstream is that it burst the blood vessels behind my eyes, pulled off the retinas, and that's why I've been blind since shortly after my birth. Nowadays, the flow of oxygen to neonates is very carefully monitored, and blindness rarely, if ever, occurs. Although there are still traumatic problems with wee Prems, particularly the further back you go. I think these days my 10-week premature birth would be regarded as nothing out of the ordinary. In any event, I learned Braille and went to school and received pretty high university admission marks. I chose to go into the fourth intake of law students in 1967 at Melbourne's Monash University. And I was attracted there by its then dean, the late Professor David Durham. Professor Durham later went on to become Vice-Chancellor of the University of Melbourne. And in those days, and we're really talking almost 40 years ago, it was much harder for we disabled people to go to university, and David welcomed me as a disabled person into his law school. He wanted people in that law school, he wanted to show a different way of educating lawyers, and lawyers who would make a difference. And from those early years, our cohort, as well as having politicians, we have barristers, Supreme Court and Federal Court judges, law professors, and 3 of us have been deans at 3 Australian major law schools, Melbourne, Monash and Sydney. Since becoming a dean myself, although 40 years ago I never thought that was even anywhere near the radar screen, I've done my best and spent a lot of time in December and January trying to attract the best possible students to the University of Sydney Law School. And by best, I don't mean high marks, although the students get very high marks. I want people who are prepared to make a difference, not only in the practice of law or law itself, but also in their lives and in this nation. It's been my honour and privilege to teach some truly great Australians. Don't always agree with them, but I've taught some extraordinary people, including, I guess I'm very proud of our Treasurer and a number of Federal Court and Supreme Court judges. But I'm proud of all my students, whatever their roles in life. And I'm particularly proud today of Dr. Van Barneveld, one of my students at the University of Sydney, who's graduated here with you with her Doctor of Philosophy degree. About 20 years ago, my life was irrevocably altered by marriage, by fatherhood, and by the information technology revolution. Well, I guess parenting and partnering are what happens to most of we Australians. But those joys don't happen to everyone. And those of us who are parents and have adult relationships should not take these precious gifts for granted. And I was delighted sitting here to hear the babies in our audience, and I welcome you guys as part of our university family. And no doubt in 20 years, you'll be walking on this stage or a similar stage in one of Australia's cluster of great universities. So I never hush children at graduations when I'm involved. They're a very important part of the family. Leaving aside parenting for the moment, although I think one always remains a parent forever and ever, I want to say something about the information technology revolution. I could not be a husband, a dad, a government advisor, a dean, a researcher, and a teacher if it wasn't for the extraordinary changes that have swept over my life because of information technology. No doubt we've all been affected in one way or another by information technology, but for we disabled people, and especially we blind people, it has been stupendous. And I'm sure my God created the technology that allowed us to have the internet, and my God is a God of the internet and the stars. Let me try and explain. Ever since I was 2, the one thing I wanted to do was read print. And I remember at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II with my older brothers who were looking at crowns through a glass window, and I tried to reach through the glass window. My mother explained that I must remember that I was learning that I couldn't see because it takes a while for you to realise you're actually different. And when she used to read me books at night, I used to think, that's actually what I want to do. And now with information technology, I'm amongst the first blind people in the history since this world has been created of doing that. Up until I was an associate professor, I had to have everything read orally. That's via someone else's mouth, either directly to me or via a tape recorder. I could always get students to help me read criminal law, but property and the Perpetuities Act, it was very hard to find willing people. By 1990, I was able to use a scanner, and I could scan into my computer books and have them read out in synthetic speech. And in those days, it used to take 60 seconds to scan into the computer and for the computer to work out the words. Now, if it took 60 seconds, I'd be banging the desk sort of like, now it takes about 4. When I came to the University of Sydney in 1993 to take up it's actually the first professorship in any field, at any faculty, for any blind person in Australia or New Zealand. And it really shows that we disabled people have a long way to go yet. When I took up that chair, there was only a minimal number of pages on the net, and law material really didn't reach the net until a year or two later. Now I can download material from the net, my cases and statutes, and read them in synthetic speech. My students email me their essays. I don't have to get them to read them anymore, and I read them electronically. I can take a book, any book I like, and scan it. I can now read anything risque I want without asking someone, would you read that? I can't explain to you the extraordinary. People say to me, you know, have you ever worried that you can't see your wife? And I think, no. Like, it's never. And then they say, would you like to have seen your children? And I think, well, my eldest boy is bigger than me, but when he was little, I used to bath him like I know that child. And I'm not suggesting I would bath him now. He's far stronger than I'll ever be. But if anyone had said to me throughout my life since I was 2.5, do you want to read? I would have said, my God, yes. Homer was blind, and he had to dictate the Iliad and the Odyssey to others to write down so that we would learn his words. Milton went blind and had to dictate, as I understand it, the end of Paradise Lost, although I found that tome a little bit obscure for my lawyer's brain. Bach suffered from blindness, but Bach, being perhaps one of those most special, rare human beings, God gave him back his sight 3 days before his death to see his family. Perhaps the most famous blind musician or composer was Maria Theresa von Paradis. She was a world-famous concert pianist in Europe of the 18th century and worked with Mozart and composed music, and she actually helped Beethoven when he was a small boy to learn the piano. Wouldn't you like to have a student like Beethoven and say, yeah, I taught him and he's written the 9th? But perhaps from my point of view, the most remarkable blind person was Nicholas Saunderson, who lived in the 17th century. He was born blind, and I like to think, there's no proof, I like to think he was also one of us, another retrolental fibroplasia baby, or in English, a prem baby. His father was a wealthy landowner and had him tutored at home. He was born blind, and he went up to Cambridge and worked with Newton on mathematics. Now, not to put too fine a point on it, Newton was a misogynist. I doubt that he ever slept with a woman. He didn't particularly like students and was busy writing his letters to Leibniz on the proofs of God. He needed someone to lecture for him, and Nicholas Saunderson did it, wrote on the board and did the calculus in his head. If you're going to compete with Isaac Newton in mathematics and you can't write, you have to work at it. What would Nicholas have done to have been given the computerisation that I've been given? I belong to a very small cluster of blind people in Australia, North America, Europe and Japan, who for the first time in history have been given the chance to be liberated. You know, not to put too fine a point on it, the growing technology helped me to marry. My wife is a vigorous associate professor academic. I don't think she would have stayed home to wash underwear. And the fact that I can work very independently liberates me, liberates her, and liberates the children. And I thank the Lord every day for the benefits I've had. I've had a very fulfilling life, and I've had extraordinary opportunities that haven't been bestowed on other people. Some people, and I guess we know many, have had extraordinary catastrophes through no fault of their own, just the luck of the draw. However, I'm constantly amazed at the candle of the human spirit that continually burns. And none of us, including myself, know what is going to happen to any of us in the next 5 minutes. But the endurance of the human spirit is one of those miracles and specialness that makes us what we are, we human beings. I wish you every success, but what I'd like you to do, graduates, is to follow David Durham, my first dean, and no doubt follow your teachers here at this fine university with its splendid history, about as long as Monash, to make a difference in your lives as citizens, in your workplaces, to make a difference in your most intimate relationships, to be well-rounded, educated human beings, and to lead full and fulfilling lives. And together I join with your teachers and the staff of this university, as an academic myself for all of my adult lifetime, to wish you all the very best. And remember, we're only given one life to lead. We're only given one go at it. And as I'm well over the halfway mark, can I say, every day left for all of us. We should all make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you for Professor McCallum for inspiring us with your words and inspiring us with the way in which you live. And I have great pleasure in inviting James Robb, Bachelor of Commerce, to speak on behalf of the graduates.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the university, families and friends of graduates, and of course graduates. And thank you, Professor McCallum, for setting such a high standard for me to follow. I'll do my best. Today I'd like to speak to you a little about life at university, what it means to be here today, and what will hopefully be in store for you all in the future. As you all appreciate, sitting down here graduating today, life at university can be difficult. University students today have to juggle a hectic life and the pressures of going out, socialising, spending time at the beach, going to the gym, attending parties, and maintain the energy to keep up all of this, fitting in 10 hours of sleep every day. And if this wasn't enough, we're expected to attend class, complete assignments, and after 28 weeks of this every year, which is the other side of half of the year, we only get 3 months over summer to recover before we do it all again. So indeed it's tough. And of course I'm being facetious, and the reality is that university is nothing quite like the popular images that are portrayed in films such as Van Wilder Party Liaison, which I'm sure you're all familiar. The average, and average is by no means an appropriate measure, university student today is faced with the pressure of completing a degree in order to enter an increasingly competitive job and work market, whilst working at least one and possibly a full-time job to fund this education. And I know it was my experience, and and I know many of you worked in industry or in accounting firms and the like around town, and at times you may have felt you paid for your degree with a pound of flesh. Others may have returned to university after several years of life experience and have substantial family commitments to balance on top of study and work. However, what I've really touched on there is probably the broad spectrum of university experiences, and hopefully some of you found yourselves nodding, at least in my first description of life at university, because it's important that some of you keep the dream alive. And in reality, everyone's experience is unique, and you probably all touched on different areas. Sometimes it was work, sometimes it was study, and sometimes it was a lot of leisure. And perhaps within all that uniqueness in your own experiences, there was perhaps the common thread, and I know was my experience, of many good times in good company and friends made that will last a lifetime. And on the point of memorable moments, although it may seem like some time ago that you finished your final exam, the feeling of excitement and trepidation as you walked out of that exam, not that an exam in corporate finance isn't exciting in its own right, but excitement at the thought of now being free to take on the world, trepidation at the thought of now being ready to take on the world, and perhaps a pang of sadness at the thought of never being able to complete any more team assessments that we all love so much. And on the point of teams, today's perhaps a fantastic opportunity to thank and appreciate those teams in your life that have helped you make it here today. Families, friends, lecturers, tutorers, who have perhaps, especially those lecturers and tutors, have made subjects somewhat more interesting than the textbook would have led on. And now I'd like to cast an eye to the future and consider what may be in store, or what will hopefully be in store for you all. And I'd like to share with you an experience of a presentation I attended the other day for a postgraduate diploma course, which I'm sure anyone who's following an accounting qualification will be only too familiar. And they gave a presentation of a budding young candidate as they progressed through the course, and it ended with an interesting visual image of that newly qualified, upwardly mobile professional person locking their brand new shiny BMW at the airport, ready to jet off to some important business meeting or other. And it struck me at that point that all along I'd been thinking that I was at university to take advantage of fantastic and rewarding career opportunities, whereas they tended to play on the fact that perhaps it's so you can have a company car and earn an incredible salary. And the implied motivators within that kind of image as to why you might go to university are incredibly Machiavellian, and certainly not lost on graduates in business, commerce, finance and economics. And undoubtedly, hopefully, you will all benefit financially from the investment you've made in your degree. And I guess one might compare the demand and supply curve for quality graduates in your fields to finding a car park for a midday lecture. And more importantly than any financial rewards, my hope is that your degree provides you with the opportunities to do something you can enjoy and be passionate about. And if those opportunities don't come knocking, don't be afraid to build the door. Congratulations, good luck, and best wishes for the future.
Thank you, James, for representing your colleagues and speaking so well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings to a conclusion our ceremony this afternoon, a celebration of graduation. We trust you've enjoyed the afternoon, and we invite you to make your way down to the Union building, to the Brennan Room, where refreshments will be served. I'm sure immediately after this you will wish to meet quickly with your loved ones and offer congratulations, and we're hoping that after a little while we'll be able to meet and mix and see some of you ourselves. So thank you again for joining us this morning.